Most athletes are not failing because they train too little. They are failing because they do not recover well enough to adapt from the training they already do. You can hit the perfect interval session. You can complete the long run. You can follow the plan. But if your sleep is inconsistent, your nutrition is rushed, your easy days are too hard, and your body is constantly carrying fatigue, then the training does not land the way it should. Training creates the stimulus. Recovery creates the adaptation. When athletes think about getting better, they usually think about training. More kilometers, more intensity, more sessions, more discipline, and training matters. You cannot recover your way to fitness without doing the work. But there is a problem. A lot of athletes treat recovery as something separate from performance. They see recovery as rest, as doing less, as something for injured athletes, or as something to care about only when they already feel exhausted. That is the wrong way to look at it. Recovery is not the opposite of training. Recovery is part of training. Every hard session creates stress in the body, muscle damage, nervous system fatigue, depleted energy stores, hormonal stress, mental fatigue. That stress is not bad. It is the reason training works. But the improvement does not happen during the session itself. The improvement happens afterwards, when the body repairs, refuels, and adapts. This is where many athletes lose progress. They train hard enough to create the stimulus, but they do not recover well enough to absorb it. So instead of building fitness, they build fatigue. The first reason athletes recover poorly is simple. They chase the next session before they have adapted from the last one. They finish a hard workout, feel good for a few hours, and assume they are ready to push again. But feeling motivated is not the same as being recovered. Your muscles, connective tissue, immune system, and nervous system may still be processing the previous load. This is especially relevant for endurance athletes, because the pressure to keep adding volume is always there. More distance can feel productive, but more is only better if you can recover from it. The second reason is that many athletes treat sleep as flexible. They protect the workout. They protect the long run. They protect the gym session. But they do not protect bedtime. They track pace, power, heart rate, and weekly volume, but ignore one of the strongest recovery signals. How well did I actually sleep? Sleep is not just downtime. It supports muscle repair, immune function, hormonal balance, cognitive performance, and motor learning. Deep sleep supports the body's main physical recovery processes. REM sleep supports neural and cognitive recovery, including learning, coordination, decision-making, and emotional regulation. So if sleep is short, irregular, or low quality, recovery becomes less reliable. And when recovery becomes less reliable, performance becomes less reliable too. This is where the PHASE1 Sleep System becomes useful. Instead of thinking about sleep as one thing, think about it through 3 levers: environment, behavior, biology. The first lever is environment. Your body does not sleep in isolation. It responds to light, darkness, temperature, and noise. A bright evening environment can delay your circadian rhythm and reduce the signal that helps your body prepare for sleep. A warm room can make it harder for the body to cool down, which is part of normal sleep onset and sleep maintenance. Noise and disruption can fragment sleep, even when total time in bed looks fine. That does not mean your room needs to be perfect. But it does mean your evening environment should make sleep easier, not harder. Darker room, cooler room, less bright light late in the evening, less screen intensity before bed, less stimulation when your body should be winding down. The second lever is behavior. This is what you repeatedly do around sleep. The body likes rhythm. A consistent wake time, a predictable wind down, and a clear cutoff from stimulation can help the body prepare for sleep. But many athletes accidentally do the opposite. Irregular sleep timing, late scrolling, caffeine too late, heavy meals too close to bedtime, high-intensity training late in the evening, trying to catch up on sleep only after the damage is already done. Each of these can interfere with sleep quality, not always dramatically, not always immediately, but enough to reduce how consistently you recover. The third lever is biology. Sleep is governed by circadian rhythm, sleep pressure, and recovery demand. In simple terms, your body needs 3 things: the right timing, enough total sleep opportunity, and enough support after training. That includes food and hydration. After training, your body needs materials. Carbohydrates help restore energy. Protein supports muscle repair and adaptation. Fluids and electrolytes help replace what was lost through sweat. This does not need to be complicated. A proper meal can work, a recovery shake can work, simple food can work. The main issue is not that athletes do not know nutrition matters. The issue is that they often delay it, underdo it, or only think about it after the biggest sessions. Recovery nutrition is not only for race day, it is part of the daily training system. Another common mistake is confusing soreness with progress. Some soreness is normal, especially after a new stimulus. But soreness is not the goal. Being destroyed after every workout is not proof that the training is working better. It may simply mean your body is not prepared for the load, or that recovery is lagging behind. The goal is not to feel wrecked. The goal is to adapt. That means you should be able to train hard when it matters, go easy when it matters, and arrive at key sessions ready enough to do the work properly. The final mistake is only caring about recovery when something goes wrong. Many athletes start stretching when they are already tight. They sleep better when they are already exhausted. They improve nutrition when performance drops. They take easy days seriously only after an injury warning. This is backwards. Good recovery is not emergency repair. It is daily maintenance. It is the system that allows training to continue. So what does proper recovery actually look like? It is not a complicated biohacking routine. It starts with the basics. Protect your sleep. Eat enough, especially around training. Make easy days genuinely easy. Use mobility and simple tissue care to maintain movement quality. Pay attention to stress outside sport, because your body does not separate training stress from life stress. And learn when not to train. That last point is difficult for serious athletes. But sometimes the best performance decision is not another session. Sometimes it is pulling back early, sleeping more, eating properly, and giving the next key session a real chance. At Phase 1, we look at recovery as the first phase of performance. Not something you add at the end, not something you think about only when you are injured. Not something separate from training. Recovery is the part of the process that turns stress into progress. For sleep, that starts with the Phase 1 Sleep System. Environment, behavior, biology, prepare the room, reduce stimulation, build a repeatable evening rhythm. Support the body with proper timing, nutrition, and enough sleep opportunity. The goal is not perfection, the goal is consistency. So before you ask whether you need more training, ask a better question. Can I actually recover from the training I am already doing? For more simple, science-backed recovery guidance for athletes, subscribe to the channel. In the next videos, we will break recovery down into practical routines you can actually use. Because training creates the stimulus. Recovery creates the adaptation. And if you want to perform stronger, recovery has to become part of the plan.